Good morning, Math 3. This is lesson 119. This morning you are going to learn how to write tenths using common and decimal fractions, and then how to measure to the tenth of a centimeter. Now, as you can see, I have out my enlarged version of the centimeter side of a ruler, and I've already drawn a line segment above it. I think if you look closely, you will see that I drew a line segment that was 36 millimeters long. So I'll just write that here so you can see it. If I were to say how many centimeters long this line segment is, what would I say? It would be 3 centimeters. Oh, that's a sloppy 3. And then 6 millimeters. There is another way for us to do this. That's where the fractions and the decimal point come in. Remember, mathematicians think this is too many letters and words, so we have to make it easier. So, count with me, please, in just a moment. Between the 0 and the 1 and the 1 and the 2 and all the way down the ruler, each centimeter is divided into 10 equal parts. Remember, when we say fractions, this would be 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10. Can you count the rest of it with me, please? 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, and then this would be 10/10, and that would equal 1. So I will write them above my line segment so that you can see them, because if I were to try and squeeze them in there, you would not be able to see them at all. So count them with me again, please. So 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, and I'll even write 10/10, which equals 1. Now, think about this as money for a moment. This would be 1 of 10 pennies, 2 of 10 pennies, but we don't really say things that way, do we? We usually talk about decimals when we're talking about money, so that's the other way that we can write our measurement for this line segment using decimals. And mathematicians like that a lot better because it's just a dot. So, 1/10 you would write this way. So decimal 1. I'll put a comma, decimal 2, 3/10, decimal 3, decimal 4, excuse me, I think I have to sneeze, decimal 5, thank you, decimal 6, decimal 7, 8, decimal 9, and then this is 10. We don't write 0.1 because then that would be just like this, so this we just write as 1. Alright, so we said that it was 36 millimeters long. We said that it's 3 centimeters and 6 millimeters long. To write it with the decimal, it would look like this. 3.6 centimeters. That's how we would do it. You have, I believe, yes, Master 119. So could you get that out, please? And pause it right here. All right, you should have Master 119 and your pencil. What is the line segment For question 1 in box 1, how long is it? I think that it's 37 millimeters long. What's another way that we can write it? 3 centimeters, 7 millimeters. What's the third way? Remember, we would use a decimal. 3.7 centimeters. Do you have all of those written down? Let's do question 2 together. How long is that line segment? It looks like it is 14 millimeters long. How would we write it using centimeters? 1 centimeter, 4 millimeters. How would we write it using a decimal? 1.4 centimeters. Okay, you work on questions 3 and 4. I'm going to erase all of, well, I shouldn't say all of that, you might still need that. I will erase this and write the answers for 3 and 4. I realize you haven't had much time to work on that, but let's get the answers written in. So for number 3, it looks like it's 58 centimeters, or millimeters, pardon me. So 58 millimeters. To write it in centimeters, we would say 5 centimeters, 8 millimeters. And how would we write it with a decimal? 5.8 centimeters. That was for question 3. If you need time to do that, just put this on pause and then come back to it to do question 4. Question 4, or box 4, looks like that line segment is 22 millimeters long. If I were to write it in centimeters, I would need to write 2 centimeters, 2 millimeters. And if I'm using the decimal, then I would write 2.2 centimeters. Okay, you have boxes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 to do. 5, 6, 7, 8. You need to draw your line segments, and you have that ruler there to help you on each of those boxes. And then for 9 and 10, you need to be able to write a mixed number, so 2 and 5/10 you need to write using a decimal. And the same thing with 7 and 1/10 you need to write as a decimal. And then in box 10, you need to do it the other way around. You need to write 6.9 or 6.9 as a mixed number. So a mixed number would look like this. I'm giving you an example. So if you were to do 6, 1 and 1/10, you need to tell me that this is 6.1. And if this over here was the decimal, let's do a different one. Let's say 5, let's say 5.5. You have to tell me as a mixed number what it is. A mixed number means that it has a whole number and then a fraction. I'm looking forward to seeing those papers come back next week. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.